Oh yeah. Kick that shit up.
Who knows what's gonna burn out of me? Oh man, apparently I'm live. I guess I decided to go live. Okay, we're live. So, let's go to my channel. And looks like I'm working, so I'm gonna hit the like button. Sounds like I'm coming through okay. Hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create DMsGuild content. I create DM. I thought I was grabbing coffee. Apparently, I'm so tired I decided to press the start button without knowing it. So I'm off guard and out of pocket. So let's go ahead and get some stuff kicking here. Let's go down to, we're going to do some tokens here in Spelljammer today. So let's see. There. NPCs. Hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too much with anything I didn't expect to say. Now I'm curious. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah. Kick that shit up.
Okay, cool. Sounds like I'm okay. Who knows what's gonna burn out of me? Cool, okay. Just making sure I didn't just really embarrass myself. But apparently I have not completely, utterly embarrassed myself. So we can proceed. Hey, we're building tokens here for Spelljammer. My name's Phil. I build role-playing game supplements, mostly for DMsGuild D&D 5e. There's a stack of books down the link down below. Check them out. Today we're going to work on an NPC who doesn't have an image at all. His name is Travis. He's got a gang. He's got a gang full of thugs. Let's look up what thugs are on DMsGuild. And that was really funny that I just dived right in. Oh man. Let's see. Let's go with D&D Beyond. And see where we're actually, what I want to look at is Thug. So he has thugs, so let's look at Thug. Zentarum Thug, important. Let's see, what are you guys? You're wearing leather armor. Okay, This guy looks awfully magical for just a common street thug. He's toting some cool critter. Anyway, it don't matter. Travis, he's, what do we know about Travis? Captain Sartell identifies the red-haired man as a local crime lord. There you go. All his thugs wear black armor. He doesn't even have a stat block. So that gives us a crap load of room. Let's just be a doodlebug. I want to be on this layer. Travis, the crime boss. I've known good Travises. They don't all have to be bad. Let's see, let's just spin do it a little bit. This is just kind of a free flow state where I just dump pixels onto the board. I use the spinning basically as a means to create little pockets of the visual text, like the visual information that I can then grow into something. So let's see. Let's see. can see something inside of here. Weird feminism going on with this. This might actually end up making a better thug token than anything else. I'm gonna do. Let's have that in mind. I guess we're making thugs. I don't know what we're making here. We're making something. The further back the character is from the camera, the more their underlings, I guess. I don't know. Sartell wasn't like that, and Flapjack wasn't like that. The idea I had thought was that if they're further away from the camera, then they're more of a throwaway soldier token sort of thing. Like, why do you need the close-up of a faceless NPC, right? You want posture and body and armament. Like, what are they equipped with? As opposed to if you're going to be interacting with them, what do their face look like? So that's a kind of a difference in the way that you do token design that I am certainly no master of. It's just an idea that I'm having right now. The ship and creature tokens that I created were black silhouettes with color options. These are all line art with that will have color options. So it's a different in formats, and I think it's because of the amount of detail that you want. Again, this is the first time I've done these sort of things professionally. So in my own world, It's just kind of based on whimsy, like what do I want to do? But with this effort to standardize the process is really making me become a little bit more critical about like what decisions am I making and why am I making them? Because they should be consistent. I believe that the information you present ought to be consistent. So I don't think there's a deeper thought than that. Oh shoot! What time is it? It's 5:55. I'm gonna take a moment here. And off the board. Here and here. Grab that real quick. I'm gonna just dump signal on Twitter. Twitter's what's happening. Burp, 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 burp. So Aaron. Stream photography. Developing martial powers. Grab this real quick. Signal boost. Here. Burp. NPC token production for Light of Euraxis. All right, so if you follow me on Twitter, I have just gone live on Twitter. Yeah. I'm gonna drop off screen for a minute here and just go to some of the Discords I like to hit. And just give me a hot second. Hide my signals here real fast. Just go ahead and kick them out. Let's see. Beep, 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 beep. Going and almost there. Stay on target. Almost there. So we've been working on the cartography for, or the what is the words I'm trying to use? So we do this on Monday through Friday for about 2 hours every morning, and then we also have a lunch stream that we run on Mondays to develop the martial power supplement that gives martial class characters different sort of alternate spell powers and special abilities that are not spells that casters don't have access to, like superpowered maneuvers that cost mana to trigger. So that's on Mondays, and then in the evenings, typically Mondays and Thursday nights, we have an additional stream that we run. And this week we're doing Eberron adventure map production. So we'll have that. We'll be streaming that again on Thursday, and I am about to hit my last signal bump, and then we'll get back into it fully. There. All right, everything is cooking. All right, we are back on point. Thank you for your patience while I kick through that signaling. Make sure I keep audience going. I've been my channel's really been on the rise lately. It's I'm really thrilled to see. Like I used to, I'm hitting around 45 to 60 views per day and about 25 to 30 hours of content. So it is starting to accumulate, and that is what it's supposed to do. But I've never done this before, so I don't know what the actual process is for it happening. It's 6:01 now. I've got a little less than 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and put a timer on the block here, and 20 minutes. We're kicking. Yeah. So thank you, everyone who's been subscribing and consuming hours of content to help me hit the 1,000 subscriber minimum and 4,000 hours per year of consumed content. That is what YouTube holds us. That's the standard that they hold for being able to monetize a channel. And of course, if I can monetize my channel, I get paid to paint every time I log in. So thank you. That is the kind of thing I need to be doing to stabilize my income so that I can quit the day job and do this full time. So I don't expect it to happen overnight. I'm fine with it taking years to happen. I want a stable, sustainable I want to rebuild my reality so that it's safe. And so like insurance is something I have to worry about, unfortunately, in America. And pocketing for retirement is important. But I certainly don't mind. God, I like doing this work. It's immensely fun. I'm thinking while we are in transition between 5e and whatever is next to find out what's happening to creators in the DMsGuild, I can finally take all the artwork that I've built and make stock art out of it, so I can start building a routine where if I finish an asset, I can build it into stock art so that I can publish it for expanding the value of the art that I produced, to get my Patreon up and running, so that it's more than just a place for me to provide playtest content. You know, I like to make a thing out of it. So there's more I can be doing. A lot. I mean, I've been terrified to treat this thing as anything other than a hobby. But at some point, running a business needs to be my hobby. But it's the creative energy that I'm concerned about. Hey, hi Dennis. Yeah, that's how I build. This is what I start with. I just swirl my pencil onto the board. I just call it spin doodling. And from that, I start to see where something exists inside the shape. Like I saw a pauldron here, and a head, and an arm, and a chest, and hips, So when I drop down the format and I run the doodle again, this is the next iteration I came up with, and right now I'm in the process of carving away the lines into the negative space to build the form. So all this extra stuff is just extra stuff, but I can do things like maybe like have a shield. Like maybe this isn't a big hip guard. Maybe I've got a shield here. Let's see what a thug's got going on. No, he's only got leather armor. He does not have a shield. This is just a generic thug that we're looking at. Just links to attacks, melee attack, bludgeoning weapon, mace, and heavy crossbow. Okay, so do not need a shield. So I'm gonna take that back. How you doing this morning? The square and round method. I don't know what the square and round method is. There's two basic techniques that I use. I either block in a silhouette if I don't intend for any detail at all, and then I can, inside of that silhouette, start carving out what the actual, anatomy or whatever it is, the structure of the thing is. But it always stays within that silhouette. And the other method is just this autonomic spin doodling. Square and round. Now I'm curious. You've made me curious. Accursed fate. Square and round art style. Well, this isn't. It's jumping out at me as a session of getting floor plans. So yeah, you'll have to explain it to me. I have to lift up this pauldron a little bit because his arm is up. I am out of firewood, but it's still cold in the morning. It's I need to go stock up for a couple hours morning burn. I suspect the rest of the day is going to be okay coming forward. Let's bring that out to here, and let's see what you got to say. What are we talking about? Use a straight line to make the arm and leg and the round part of the joint with a literal stick. Not sure that. Oh, that's just creating a skeleton. Yeah, I do that occasionally. It doesn't help with form though. It does. It's more of a proportions and it's a guideline for proportioning, like how large is the body supposed to be in comparison to the head and stuff like that. And it's good for perspective to get an idea of like how much foreshortening do I need in a limb by representing it as like if I've got a guy here, right, and I got a shoulder with like clavicles and stuff, and I got my shoulder joints here, and I got an arm, so my rib cage is gonna have to be like this, right? So I want my elbow to be equal to the bottom of my ribs. And here, and here. So if I'm going to put up this arm like this, I know that this length is going to be a little less than this length. And that if this is the hip, and this is where the hand is at, then it's going to be like this. And then this is going to be roughly the same as here, and you get your stick. So like that is, that I guess this would be the stick and ball method that you're talking about, like a little bit +1. But I just do that instinctively. I don't have to think about that sort of thing. My brain is already doing that calculation when I'm building these things. And occasionally I'm wrong and I have to backtrack a little bit. But if that's what you're talking about, yeah, that's just kind of built into this process. Figure drawing method. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, I do that. I do it all the time. Only occasionally do I specifically need to do it if I'm having some sort of a conundrum. Like if something isn't sitting right, that's not right. That's not when I use it. When do I use it? Yeah, it's just inside of the anatomy here. Like we pull this back, and when thank you. This is a great question. I guess what I do is I identify where the figure drawing is inside of this swirl. So if I were to step back for a second, and we know the head is here, and this here is indicating to me that I've got a hand, which means this is where the joint is, which is where this is at. So you got this proportion going on like this, that puts us here, and then you got a body form like this, which is where earlier on when we started this figure, I was like, it has a real feminine feeling to the posturing that goes on here. Like I could just as easily have made like a swirling dress out of this, and the hands are here, and see there's your figure. You know, that's something that I could have iterated out of this if I wanted to. And, you know, you kind of got like this dancer sort of thing starting up. But that's not where we were. We were doing thugs with maces. So this is the direction we decided to take. But that same process there of extracting the figure from the swirl, the swirl provides information, like it becomes like filigree detail and texture options that are optional presence inside of the piece. Like as I'm building this, we may see a chance. It's not guaranteed, but we may see a chance where some of the swirly stuff that I built in makes sense to be part of the detail in this piece. Like if the Captain Sartell piece that I did 3 episodes back, I think, that used the same spin method that eventually resulted in what Captain Sartell is here. If you hadn't seen that piece, here's the Captain Sartell. We did this in an hour, and I think I threw all it away. Here we go. Hold on. That is not the swirl. That's the swirl that is that the basic swirl that we started with? Yeah. That's the basic swirl that we started with for what Captain Sartell became. And from that, instead of having the arm up, I was originally doing like a, but she doesn't have a pistol, so I threw that away. She isn't like an armament type thing. She's a commander. So, but I ended up with this basic form, and as I evolved from it, I flipped the arm from being up to on her hip. But like you can see the shoulder here and the arm, and here's the head, and this became the hair flaring out. Get the hips going here. So that was really rudimentary, but you can go back and check the channel, the playlist, to see how this ended up spinning out of that in about an hour, 5 minutes, something like that. Pretty good production piece. I mean, it's still a little loose, but I'm happy with it. We'll go back and we'll colorize it later, but on a VTT asset, it would be like, it would be like looking about like that. So I don't need an intense level of detail. I don't have to have a huge level of refinement either. It can stay a little sketchy, and it should be fine. So we'll go back to Travis. We're going to call this Travis Thug. That seems to be what this is shaping up to be. Travis Thug. And there's actually at the line art stage, there isn't really that much of a difference. There doesn't have to be much difference in material type, what kind of armor is being wearing. Like I can get the same, I can beat metal into this shape for plate, but I can also sculpt it into this shape if it's cured leather. And the Thug wears cured leather, so I am going with that approach. We're building helmet language right now. I'm going to duplicate this before I make any mistakes I don't like, and save it. That's hitting point. That's hitting point. That's hitting point. So yeah, this thing's proportioning out properly. Most of the times I can just get the proportions right just because I've been doing it for a long time. But occasionally I am off my mark and I need to check myself. But the more I can turn off the brain, the more I am likely just to produce a result that I like. hand is way too big, so I'll need to make that smaller. So I'll fill it in as a silhouette, and then carve what needs to be out of it. Adjust this a bit further, like that. Bunch up this muscle a little bit more. Just like that. Just like that. That. Hey, my first 20-minute timer. We still got 100 minutes left on the block. Transform, turn that a bit. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and try to turn off my brain a little bit. Minions like these thugs, I don't need looking at the camera. I don't care about their faces. I don't care who they are. They're just gonna get killed. Like what they're armed with and their general body type is much more important than their personality or the look in their eye. Like he's got like 8 of these guys, right? You don't care about any one of them. They don't get names. They're just thugs. Like if the shredder had decided to be the, I don't know, the smasher. No, it's too much armor. No, it's too much. It's just leather. He doesn't need to have like throat. He doesn't need like a gordette or anything. He is just in leather. So technically, you shouldn't have pauldrons like this either. It's just leather. So something a little more modest. Needs to be in place. Modest all that down. That was it. I've been thinking about baseball caps a lot lately. Mostly because I got a new hoodie, and when I draw the strings, it makes this like weird ruffle bag around my head. And like this is, and then I noticed, well, you know, people that have baseball caps, their bill pokes out from underneath it. That would help keep structure around the head, so it doesn't just completely collapse around their face. Yes, man, what you got going on these days? I don't know you well enough yet just to know what you got going on. we got this. Man, I really want to do. I want to do a Hadozi because there was a conversation on Reddit about Hadozi clothing and how people keep making closed sleeves that are impossible for them to wear, and it's utterly ridiculous. And it's a good example of the style is not functional, and how good integrating functionality into your work makes helps your eye digest the information better. So I don't want to throw shade at anybody, so I shan't. But I've seen multiple instances of Hadozi with wearing coats that there's no way they can push their arm down and still have their skin, the wings attached to their ankles and their wrists as they're designed to be. So there's not enough logical information. I don't even think, God, is there even... Like how do you get those pants on? Let's take a closer look at this. Let's see this metal plate is it's a hey, that's really great art. But this can be attached as a front back piece. It's like a clamshell that locks in around the body like that. So it doesn't need it. So its sides are closed off like this, but you can open it, like you can open it up, or more likely like this, and drop it over your head, and then you drop it shut, and then it seals shut like that. So I guess right there. So it closes off like that. So this is basically how the thing is structured. I got too many fingers, so it looks weird. But the pants, still looking at the pants. The anklet sort of things, those are okay. They're not good language here as to how the ankle skin attaches, because these are they're leather straps that are encircling the leg. But it looks like they still look like they're pull-ons. So I'm not thrilled with that. This looks like parachute pants, but there's no information as to how those pants got on either. If there was like a wrap that was happening here, you can because these are closed loops, right? You can't take these. You can't push the pants up over the skin wing. So I don't see how these pants got onto this creature's anatomy. But just as a quick tangent, because it's really just burning a hole through my head. Let's stitch that shut for a second, and let's just I were to do a Hadozi. I want to, but I don't think I have one on my work docket. So if I were to do a Hadozi, we'd start off, here's that ball and stick method. We'd have our shoulder here, and shoulder here, right? And you got your body going like this. Leg, got your leg, way too big. Ooh la la. there's your sticks. So since this isn't something I'm inspired to do, this method actually makes sense, because I'm not trying to create form and structure out of nothing. I am illustrating a point. So this ball stick method makes more sense. This figure drawing issue thing that we were talking about. So here's an instance where I would use that. So looking at this overall, I'm going to drop this opacity down. So if you're going to put clothing on a Hadozi, and here, let me finish this out. Okay, the thing about Hadozi is that they've got this flap of skin that connects to their ankles and their wrists. So that means anything from here and up on the body cannot slip over the hands. Otherwise, this I don't know what the language for it is. Gliding skin or whatever. We'll just call it the skin. So you can't, with the skin in place, you can't put anything over the wrist or anything like that. Like you can put on gloves, but that's about it. So merge down. There. Okay, so that establishes our conundrum. So for us to be able to put clothing onto this guy, we saw in the illustration you had basically this like this and here, and then you got the back plate here. And these are two separate things like that, and then you attach them with a string this way, which is pretty much what we see happening here. It's a front plate here, and this has got like this leather strap stuff going on around the back. That's serviceable as well, but ideally how this thing would work is it would be a shell, like a clam shell like this, right? These parts stay connected here, but there would then be, let's drop this down a bit, there would be a connector here, 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 and here, and these essentially connect like a clasp or something would connect these two side pieces, so that you can drop it in over your head, seal it around your body, and then lace it together on the sides. So that's just a good structure to have for a half plate piece of armor in general anyway. And then a belt is a belt, so you can still have a belt like, you know, normal people would have a belt. It's going to loop around you, right? You know what a belt is. Like that, and then this also clasps in the middle like that. And then for the pants, again, that same format of being open-ended. So you can have One layer of cloth going this way. And then you have another layer of cloth going this way. And when they overlap, you have a clasp here and here to connect those things like that, so that you've got this consistent, you've got two halves that are folding over each other. And then with that belt that you have, side armor, clasp and clasp here, and you can have front armor. And then on the back, you can have back armor like that. So you can have you can encase the hips and the legs in armor on with a simple belt that the belt latches shut here, and then you got a pin and a pin here for this front plate that you then just clip on to the belt and have that here. And then this belt can have studded bolts here, here, and here, and then have the leather hang off the back here, and then on the sides like that. But this piece is removable. Oh my god, let the hell go. What is actually going on? I'm gonna hit save. Get rid of that. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's being goofy. There. Screw you, Oofus. She's a crow. Thank you. No, I don't. Oh, my shift button's locked down. That explains everything. Thank you. My shift button's been sticky lately. It's causing me weird troubles. But yeah, you can have the belt here and then have this open with a tag here. So when you cinch it shut, you just clip on this part here. There, that's your belt. And now for the pants. Those are just simple greaves that you can click on with a loop. Like that. And down here you've got the leggings. You've got the greave guard here. You can just clip those on. Again, with just closed loops. And then sandals. You know what sandals are, closed loops. So yeah, you can have the skin existing between these attached straps, and then if you're really well armored, then you've got back greaves that are again like a shell that attaches here and then has a link on the inside, like a belt that you can attach here on the inside of the leg. So yeah, you can completely build all the armor and all the clothing that you need for Hodozi with that skin flap in place. You just can't do cool stuff like jackets and stuff, but you can do things like vambraces or like these would also be tied on armbands. You got your armor that you clipped on, and then these R-bands hook onto a clip inside the pauldron's edge. Like you lift the pauldron up to expose these lines, and you tie these on, and then the pauldron drops down over it. So it's like that. So this brace, arm band brace stays in place, and then that can drape any amount of armor that you want, because it's not actually, you don't have to slide it on, it's clipped on. So yeah, that's Hadozzi clothing. It's all garment wraps like togas, and then it's all leather straps and shell locking. So it's when you're thinking about illustrating your Hadozzi, you need to be thinking about that sort of stuff. You have to think about how the stuff drapes. You can't just shorthand, I'm going to put a shirt on this guy. Like, you can't just put a shirt on a Hadozzi. You can start with a piece of cloth, right? You can take that cloth and you can drape it here. Have it loop around like that. If you wanted to add to it, you could have another loop around like this, and then that would just be inside of it, like in the folds. You don't have to actually think too much about how that sit, but that's essentially how you can craft like casual clothing. You know, like you can have this underneath the armor. And then you can continue with the wrap. Casually just loosen out. And another wrap. There. I think that's like Mediterranean. I think also South American, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. Egyptian, sorry. It's very Egyptian, like old Egyptian feeling to it. So Egyptian, that 2,000 year ago to 5,000 year ago time frame where they're basically just locking fabric around themselves by just basically folding it. Or just draping it around themselves and then cinching it up with a belt, which is stuff that you've probably seen in movies and images before. It's not difficult. You just got to think about what the hell am I putting on my monkey man. So you got the gloves here, and then you got the wrist braces here, and you got this open spot on the wrist for their skin fold. But they could have like they can have a pauldron that's like this. So they can still have their skin flap here in their hand without being locked up, right? And they can have a glove like this. So they can have that skin protected, but these guys aren't. They're gliders, so they're not going to wear a lot of heavy armor. They're going to stay looser with loose-fitting clothing, partial armor. Like I can't imagine them wearing heavy plate. They'd be more like, at best, partial, like at best medium armor, if not just light armor or no armor and magical protection. But that's your Hadozzi in a nutshell. I'll go ahead and close that stuff up. Hadozzi hoo hoo. It's going to end up being garbage. So let's get back to it. Down, we can that's good enough for the structure of it. So I'm going to trim down the area here, just to limit. Just like I don't need to do a full body. Give me a break. I just want to do something to limit the scope a little bit right now. I don't want to get crazy on the amount of detail. It's just a thug, but I want to make sure that I just have consistent structure. Like there's that draping I was talking about on this belt. Like that. How's the timer looking? I'm gonna grab some coffee and BRB. This thug's just about done. I mean, it's sloppy still. It needs some work and refinement, but the gist is there. I'm happy with it, so that's good. These are only, this is only a 300 by 300 pixel square, so if it's a high resolution print, it's only 1 inch, which is where we want to be at. Where's my face? Hello. There I am. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Another 20 minutes on the block. You know, I'm good enough with the thug for now. I want to move on. So I'm feeling the energy shift. I can come back and I can do more cleanup on this another time. But you guys get where this is at. Yeah, we'll come back and clean it up later. I don't want to completely just burn myself out on a thug token. That's ridiculous. So we'll set it there for now. Pat ourselves on the back. Travis, thug, lock it in. Up. Now. Go back to Travis. Red hair. Travis. The only thing we know about Travis is that he has red hair, but he's more important than that thug, so we want to be closer in the image. So no idea what this is doing, where it's going, what's going on here. Should fill a space like that. So, okay. Let's see what I see inside of here. I don't even think, seriously, I don't think there's a stat block for Travis. Let's Let's go to our sources. Where's our access? Trouble at the docks, eh? Looking for a stat block. Church's takeover. Yeah, there you go. There's no information about him, so I guess, well, there is the veteran stat block, so let's see. It's just so lazy. Come on, guys. You're a multi-million dollar, like nearly billion-dollar corporation. You can afford some stock art. Splint. Okay. Splint's basically Brigadine on the outside. So let's look at Splint armor. That stuff is cool. Yeah, it's Brigadine, but the plates are on the outside. I'm Bat Splint. That's cool stuff. That's more like Brigadine than Splint. Nice. Okay, that sounds cool. I like Splint armor. Feels too close. It's not that important. More important than Thug, less important than Sartell. Ooh, I see somebody. happy with this already. I love sketching people. It's so fun. And I love the fantasy world because there's so many potential blood lineage inside of them. So you can have just like cartoonish like features, but it's like real anatomy. You know, like this guy probably has dwarven blood in him somewhere, because he's got these very blocky features that are overly heavy images. Anatomy. The anatomy is too heavy for people, and so that makes me feel like there's dwarven heritage creeping around somewhere inside of his genes. Splint armor is super cool. Very fantasy setting. It was a really good armor for fantasy. Cool, that is pretty. That's more like half plate there, dude. Charm here somehow. This isn't the right path. Casually strutting around in Splint. I don't think so. How obnoxious. Yeah. Where are we at? Yeah, it's only 7:20. That's great. Breath. My gut is telling me how long am I going for? Hour and 40 minutes? I don't know why. My gut is telling me I should go. So I'm going to cut stream. I know it's uncharacteristic for me to cut stream at this hour, but I've been going at it for an hour and 40 minutes, which isn't unusual for a fill run. Gotten some stuff done. I'm pretty happy with how this guy is sitting currently. Kind of ready to move on to the next piece, but again, my gut is telling me that I should go. So I'm going to listen to my heart for whatever reason it's saying that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut stream. We're going to pick up again tomorrow. Trim this down just a touch. Almost there. Yeah, I don't know why, but my heart's telling me I should stop stream right now. Something might be happening I'm not aware of, or I don't know. Who knows? But it's telling me to do that, so I'm going to. I'm going with Travis as he sits for now. We'll get back to him later. We're just going to keep pushing forward. So that's where we're going to stop for now. So thanks a lot for anyone showing up, hanging out. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Phil Kearney. I'll be back for another 100 some odd minutes or so tomorrow morning. I will continue with additional character tokens. Looks like we got some elves on deck that we need to build out. Zedalia, the clerics that control the star moths, the captain and lieutenants of the star moths, as well as just generic shock troops. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support, the subscriptions, the hours consumed. We're going to have more stuff, and I look forward to catching up with you guys again really soon. So thank you, and later.